Okay, good morning. It's Monday, February 17th, and that means two things. You can start from the bottom or you can start from the top, but working from the middle is just a bit silly. Otherwise, it's time for the lighting industry news brief. Let's talk about the news and Keystone Tech's UL924 rated emergency LED tube. That's right, classic Keystone design with the color select on a switch on the device. Everything's in the device, everything wires up nice, and it really does a great job of letting maintenance people know that they don't have to remove it later. It really locks in and prevents any issues there, because when there's an emergency, you want the lights on. Let's get into the news. Legrand has bought a majority stake in a French circular economy consulting group called Circular. That's a 70% stake already. IKEA is expanding their facility. Their Batesville space will now be 150,000 square feet across and around and other dimensions. On the tariff side of things, there is a new 25% tariff on steel and aluminum internationally from the U.S. today. Probably. There may have been some late night negotiations that made this not happen at time of recording. The EU has promised counter tariffs on the U.S. on select sectors. Taiwan has pledged more chips and semiconductors to the U.S. Estimates show that construction in new buildings could rise by as much as 5%, and Canadian grocers are partnering with vertical farms to dodge some tariffs going ahead, even if they aren't official yet. Cooper won't change pricing before the 31st of March, and NEMA is prepping for disruptions as things go ahead. David Schaefer Engineering has bought over under electrical services. No details on price. GWIS will be delisting Bigelli from the EU stock market. GWIS already owns 74% stake in the company. They will be pushing a mandatory public purchase option for the remaining shares. Luceco has altered their shareholders' rights voting deal based on Apex FS buying more shares. Income is down at Wesco, $40 million less compared to last year. We have losses at Orion Energy. Revenues were only $19 million in Q4. They will be cutting salaries for executives and considering splitting into two companies. Texas may end daylight savings time. That's good, y'all. And ditto in Utah. Q4 at AMS Osram shows earnings are flat, but outlooks are good. Q1 at Siemens shows revenues up 3%. We have a share buyback at ABB with $1.5 billion planning to go ahead and share buybacks this month. Republic and TF Earhart will be merging operations. Both are owned by Great Cliff Partners. They'll be combining efforts. In 2025, 77% of the U.S. will be represented by rebate programs geographically. That's not by population, that's by geography. Controls are becoming more of a factor in that. UC Boulder has opened applications for their architectural lighting certificate program. This is their annual summer postgrad certificate program on the run again. Eaton has been named one of the world's most admired companies by Fortune magazine. Adam Lillian has launched a brand new company. The Circadian Lighting Advisors is now open for business. And Bill Attardi has a new website. Learners Live is live. In ultraviolet news, Swampscott, Massachusetts may be testing a new UV program. This pilot would cost $400,000, but would attempt to make a beach safe to swim at. That's right, a open air water disinfection program. We have a rep agency update in the form of Leviton expanding a deal with Salex in Ottawa. Cooper has sued Ephesius's founders with a $3.5 million claim over the indemnification clause of their acquisition contract. The Federal Circuit has clarified timing on Link versus Samsung. Prior art begins at the filing date, not the publication date. That's a big precedence being set right there. Signify and Keystone are feuding over restrictions in their settlement. Parties are in argument over confidentiality and when their lawyers can take more LED patent cases based on this. The ETC has filed a complaint against Elation with 3 violations related to their Fuse Trito fixture. AGS has filed against Jesco. We have Lime Green filing against Brilliant Next Gen. Both of these are related to LED fixture patents. Lime Green is part of a series of cases related to active cooling. In events and webinars, Lightfair is open for registration. You can now buy your tickets for the May event. You can save the date for the Edison Report Lifetime Achievement Awards. Those are on March 17th. The IES Toronto's section will be offering a tech luncheon on the 19th of February on sustainable energy options and how they align with lighting. We have a webinar on the 26th about lighting controls for home automation, and we have the inaugural Smart Lighting Expo on March 15th. This is in Hong Kong, running alongside the Hong Kong International Lighting Fair, brackets the Spring Edition. In IoT news, we have a IoT data breach releasing 2.7 billion records, including people's Wi-Fi passwords. This is based on a set of systems by AMRS Hydro and LG Systems in China. Touche Controls shut down very suddenly. They provide controls for wired systems. They have already fired a lot of people, and they are considering an asset sale. Baron Lighting has joined the Lighting Controls Association. Lynn Gomez was on the Lighting Controls podcast. In R&D, a good LED beats a HPS on the streets. This is based on a study of DC street lighting showing energy savings and better street coverage with LED options. On the dark side of things, circadian disruption has been linked with obesity again. WISIT vaccines work better when timed with circadian rhythm. Glamix has showed off a bird-safe green LED, not an endorsement, but it's neat. Landes de Gascogne National Park in France has been recognized as a sanctuary by the DSI. We have a new useful chart using Allen to chart hurricane recovery. Circadian rhythm has been linked with epigenetics in sea bass. And Japanese rice fish need darkness for their reproductive activities. Sasha Radoy was on Restoring Darkness. Norfolk County, Ontario has passed a bylaw for lighting at cannabis growth facilities, specifically related to light spill. Westport, Connecticut is debating brightness at sports fields. Minot is debating harsher fines for lighting and noise ordinance violations. Linden, Michigan is too bright, say locals. Taprock Ridge is hosting a dark sky lecture, that's in the UK. And Punxsutawney Phil, a rodent who predicts the weather less than a third of the time, be honest, guys, is kept under artificial light at night. He's kept under artificial light 24 hours, 24/7. That might be why he's so bad at his job. Florida has celebrated dark sky nights at the Everglades National Park. South Downs National Park Authority has a podcast now. You should check it out. IKEA has published a street study of all people, and yeah, it encourages you to buy IKEA bedding, but you know, other useful information in there too. Hydro Farm has joined Glaze. Sallyport has provided $10 million in facility lighting for. Sallyport has provided $10 million to buy a new facility for a lighting supply company. We have a new LED lighting plan for Peace Lily growth. Solem has released a white paper for dynamic lighting and power management. 80 Acres has bought Plante. Light Science has signed a new distro deal with Gavita International. Australia plans the world's largest vertical farm at the Melbourne airport. In recommended reading, all these links are on nailed.org. We have a biography of early lighting professional Lewis Latimer. We have the question of, are we ready for Bulb War II? We have the history of lighting from fire to LEDs. We have 6 emerging concepts to know in smart building systems. We have AI agents in lighting. We have human-centric lighting or golf simulators. Which one does your office need? Maybe both. Actually, I'd rather have the lighting. My shoulder hurts real bad this week. I'm sorry. We have what AI agents do for lighting. We have a question of ethics in automation tech. We have C. Webster Marsh on automated demand response and lighting. We have a recap of the 2024 DLC Controls Summit, their NLC, Network Lighting Controls and HVAC session. We have the question of whether regulation is slowing smart city development. We have agro couture after their rebates. We have the real reason why your boss hates remote work. We have myth-busting infrared devices for skincare. We have blue light blocking glasses not really working. And here's what did. A question of whether to replace or repair a lighting system. We have saving 2 kilometers of cable with the use of solar lighting, not sailor lighting. Sailor lighting's different. That's for boats, I think. We have the case study of the AO Arena music venue in Manchester, and Etienne Lacroix on leaving GE Lighting to start his own company. In local news, Jackson, Mississippi highways are still struggling with lighting 2 years after wire thefts. 2 years. Kentucky Senate has passed a metal theft law. Idaho will be spending $2 billion on school repairs, and that's not enough. New Orleans is celebrating the completion of a street lighting project. We have $51 million for lighting on Detroit streets. We have $33 million to improve railway crossings in Alberta and BC. Montreal, Quebec needs to replace 54 municipal contractors because they'd rather work with locals. Fort Benton, Montana has approved new school projects. We have $1.7 million in LED lighting for Ottawa streets. We have failed phosphors. That's right, the purple ones found on Highway 417 outside Ottawa, Ontario. Lakewood, Ohio has secured funds for a climate plan. We have $4.5 million to light tunnels in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We have $10.5 million for 2 Quebec schools. We have utility funding streetlight switches in Freeport, Illinois. The Utah State Prison System has upgraded their interior lighting. Pace U has partnered with Voltus for energy. We have a $2 million upgrade for the Maritime Sikh Society Française in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Washington is evaluating their exterior lighting. We have $25 million to revamp the lighting at Carnegie Museum being completed. Findlay, Ohio is planning LEDs for their city-owned offices. Canton, New York has funded new lighting for a trailer park. We have new baseball stadium lighting going up at UC Davis. Alva, Oklahoma is debating park lighting. Durango, Colorado ski hills have new lighting. And the central bank has funded new lighting, hundreds of thousands of dollars for new lighting at the Field of Dreams in Iowa. Because if you build it, they'll definitely come, right? They really will. They really will. Internationally, CLASP has started to offer climate funds in Australia. The Netherlands has started a government monitoring agency for key materials and resources and inventory within the country. Italy has started an urban safety project. All arteries on Cyprus will have LED streetlights by the end of the year. And Fluxworks has expanded their operations to the Middle East. In sports news, FW Webb has partnered with the Yankees as a sponsor. The Pelicans might have to move. That's out of Florida without a lighting upgrade for their stadium. We have new lighting going in at Sutter Health Park just in time for spring training. And the cricket community is in the middle of a fierce debate about the lighting quality at the Lahore pitch after a player was injured. In People News, Greg St. John is now the president at Skykes. We have Naliani Brito Davies being named the president of the board at Dark Sky International. The National Association of Manufacturers has named new board members. The IEC has named a new board of directors, and the ALA is seeking a president and CEO. In things you can make, a flashlight with active cooling, or you can grow a gallium arsenide laser on a silicone wafer. I've been Scott Wachter. I want to thank you for our time. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Nailed. And I will see you next week. Enjoy the music. Take care of yourself.
You lived a little life till a little while ago. Now with a daunting choice to make, not sure which way to go. It's the dawn of a brand new day. You'll find your way. You'll find your way. There's a road just right for you, not far ahead. You'll find your way. There'll be friends that let you down, and some that pick you up. Be someone you've never been as you journey to and fro. It's the dawn of a bright new day. You'll find your way, you'll find your way. There's a road just right for you, not far ahead. You'll find your way and always be free. Above the sand, below the cloud is where your head will be. A world of opportunity awaiting there, waiting for you. It's the dawn of a bright new day. You'll find your way, you'll find your way. There's a road just right for you, not far ahead. You'll find your way, and it's the dawn of a bright new day. You'll find your way, you'll find your way. There's a road just right for you, not far ahead.